It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 27th day of October, 2020, coming to you from Central Virginia, Bedford County, right outside of Lynchburg, on a kind of a rainy, crappy, it's not rainy this morning as it's been the last couple of days. Watching the weather, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit. We got a lot of rain coming toward us. It looks like we're going to get the back end of Hurricane Beta's winds and rain up here into Virginia starting the next day or two. A couple of things, folks, before we get on to a couple of news stories this morning. Some of you may have noticed at the top of the chat box a PayPal link. And if you might have read through the description on this broadcast, which becomes the description for the video when this becomes a video, there's also the PayPal link can be found there. Why is it there and what am I doing? So a little bit of explanation. You guys know that anytime you have done the super chats, I appreciate it immensely. That's helping support the channel. It's fabulous. I love you to death for y'all doing that. I am very amiss to even try to promote that kind of thing because I don't want it to seem like, I'm begging for money. It's just not my style. So I don't talk about it other than when it happens and you guys do it on your own. And I appreciate it. And I try to thank you for it as much as I can on the air. So I'll tell you what I found out and why I'm doing what I'm doing actually to try something. Recently, there was one day that we had, and I'm not going to use a name here because I don't want it to be an embarrassment to anybody, but one of our regular guests gave me a $19.99 super chat. Rounded off $20, $19.99. Okay. And it was the only one I got that day, so I was able to pinpoint exactly what I actually got out of that. The $19.99 donation that was made by one of our regulars, when it actually got back to me, the money that was credited to my YouTube account, I was credited $10.74. So I'm not sure what that was. They've taken what, 43, 44, 45% of the money that you're donating to this channel for their administration, I guess. So not anywhere that I have been able to see does it say that, yeah, you can offer super chats, but we're going to take half your money. It doesn't tell me that. And I'm sure when you guys donate to this channel, it doesn't tell you that, oh, yeah, donate $5 to Chillie and we're going to steal half of it. I'm sure they don't tell you that either. So I'm following in the footsteps of traveling with Bruce and several of the other guys that are in this space. So I'm posting a PayPal link. It goes to my PayPal account. It's in the chat box. It's in the description of the video. Now, there's a couple things that I know that I'm not going to be able to do, I don't think, although the first time somebody wants to donate some money and does it this way, I'll be able to find out how it works because I tried to donate to myself and PayPal won't let you do that. So someday one of you guys want to donate $5, do so on the PayPal link and I'll be able to find out how that works and when I get notified and all those kind of things. But one of the strengths to the super chat thing is, it shows in the chat. So let's say if Jason in Pittsburgh donates $5, it shows in the chat box and everybody else that's in the chat room sees it. And they say, oh yeah, I haven't given to Chillie for a while. I'll do it too. So it becomes a snowball effect, which certainly helps me too, because I'm not going to sit out here and try to sell you on the idea all the time. But neither here nor there. I want to try it this way to see if, in fact, I get more of the money that you're intending to go to support the channel, to help with the channel support, than YouTube is allowing you to give to me. So we'll see how it works. And then I'll see how I'm notified so that I can publicly, and I do this publicly, to thank you. Because I want you to know how much I appreciate what you're doing when you do it. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if every broadcast, if I get like an email or something, that I have to go check my email before I get off the air. I don't know. I'll have to see. So anyway, one of these days, if anybody wants to donate $5 and wants to try the PayPal link, try it and see if it works. And then I'll know on the back end, so I'll know how to be able to say thank you. I maybe have to do it the next show. I don't know. So anyway, so much for that. Again, I appreciate the help that I get. Certainly, there's a cost to doing this silliness, and I certainly appreciate the help. But I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on donating money to me. That's not my style. So, all right. A bit of advice before we get to the stories of the day. You know that I am a big believer in masks, and now I do want to offer some advice on masks, and that is that to tell you that they don't always work, but neither do parachutes. But if I ever jump out of an airplane, I'm damn sure going to have a parachute on. So if the mask doesn't work, you're better off with it than without it. So use it. Okay. Enough silliness. We got to talk about weather again. Thankfully, folks, we're getting to the end of the season, my Lord. And it's this one acted just exactly like we predicted it was going to act on Saturday. It became a named storm right exactly when we said it was going to be. Overnight last night, it became a hurricane, Hurricane Zeta. It hit the Yucatán Peninsula. It has now crossed over the Yucatan. Now, let me check and see if, in fact, the 11 o'clock update is not posted yet. I was going to see if the 11 o'clock update shows us back over water. There, it just came up. The 11 o'clock update on Zeta, can't tell if it's back over water, and it doesn't tell me yet. It dropped down to 65, so it went back to a tropical storm after it hit landfall at Tulum, Mexico, right near Tulum. Those of you that have been on any kind of Western Caribbean trips have maybe been to Tulum, to the ruins there. But anyway, a tropical storm currently, as it dropped down over the landfall, is at 65 miles an hour, 985 millibars on the pressure. It's moving northwest at 14 miles an hour. So it started motivating after a couple of days of sitting still. And last night, as it started coming in, that's in the Cancun area, you can see the storm rolling in. It was pretty brutal. Thankfully, that's the only thing we've got out there right now. And maybe that'll be the end of the season. Wouldn't that be nice? But anyway, after slamming into the Yucatan, Zeta is heading toward the Gulf Coast. Residents along the Gulf Coast are preparing once again for another hurricane. Hurricane Zeta made landfall north of Tulum as a Category 1 Monday night, bringing heavy rains and storm surge to a region that was struck by Delta just 3 weeks ago. It weakened slightly as it passed over land, and it is expected to regain strength once it's back over the water. And it's still fairly warm water down there, folks, so it's going to re-strengthen. And then it's going to take that same bend to the east that numerous storms have taken this year. And the trajectory actually took a slight little blip to the east during the night. So it looks like it's going to more than likely aim in the New Orleans area, possibly just to the east of New Orleans, which will keep New Orleans from getting the worst part of the storm. And clearly, places like Lake Charles, it's gotten hit, 2 direct hits, right, or within miles of a direct hit, back to back, just weeks apart. Is going to pretty much be out of this one. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of wind, you'll get a little bit of rain, but not bad because you're on the clean side of the storm. The dirty side of the storm is the east side on this one. And it looks like now that that's going to go, maybe it'll hit landfall somewhere around Grand Isles, down the river from New Orleans. New Orleans going to get some of the backwash, but it's more to the clean side of the storm. It's going to be a lot less rain and wind, but still it's a tropical storm or a hurricane. It's whether it's lands at a 1 or a strong tropical storm, it's not going to make that much difference. You're going to still have a lot of rain. You're going to have a lot of storm surge. The Gulf Coast is going to all through, Alabama, Mississippi, over into the panhandle of Florida is going to have lots of rain, lots of storm surge. This is going to has a huge rain field, and of course with that some winds. So you're already feeling the winds. The rain from this one up into the southern states, up into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Atlanta. It's going to move up into the Blue Ridge. And then once it hits shore, which probably is going to be tomorrow evening, overnight, but before Thursday morning, but somewhere, darkish tonight or tomorrow night, it's going to have landfall the way it's moving. And then it's just going to haul ass northeast. We're going to get a lot of rain up here in Virginia, even from it, for the next couple days. Pretty much all of the southeastern part of the United States can get wet from this one. So that's Zeta. And so if you're down there in any of those locales like Sunny, be careful because it's not going to be real nice for you over in Mississippi, anywhere in Mississippi. But still, it looks like the landfall is going to be, my best guess is somewhere around Grand Isles, on down the river from New Orleans. But it's going to be, I think everything's going to, the worst portion of this is going to stay east of New Orleans. It's going to hit in Louisiana. So it'll be the 5th storm to hit in Louisiana this year. And what is this, the 11th hurricane? I think it is some just ridiculous amount. So, and maybe we'll get lucky and this will be the end of the season. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, everybody by now has heard about this one. If you watched Cruise Amigos Sunday, we talked about this a little bit. The CDC threw a clink into things, and I have some mixed feelings about the CDC. I have had an awful lot of faith in the science into things, but I'm wondering now how much politics is getting involved, at least from the standpoint of the CDC fighting back against the politics that's sticking their nose in the CDC's business. I don't know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, even as cruising has relaunched overseas and several of the cruise lines were hoping to welcome guests by the end of the year, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control has issued a new warning which could throw a wrench into the resumption of cruises, with the current no-sail order set to expire the 31st. So that is, Thursday, Friday. That's this weekend. Anyway, Saturday. It's supposed to expire Saturday. So they've got to do something, or just let it expire and then people can start sailing. But they've issued a warning, a level 3 warning now regarding cruising. In it, they suggest travelers defer all cruise travels worldwide. A level 3 warning is the organization's highest designation, with a level 1 suggesting travelers practice usual precautions, level 2 saying they should practice enhanced precaution. Then level 3 said, Level 3 takes things much further by saying that all non-essential travel should be avoided. The move is not entirely surprising given the health crisis currently unfolding around the world once again, as seen in numerous countries, of course, including the United States and in countries in Europe. The thing that bothers me the most about this, and of course, everybody remembers, back a month or so ago, Redfield said he wanted to extend it to the middle of February, and the White House stepped on him and said they want to go a different direction. And he modified the position at that time to the 31st of October. Some are suggesting, folks, and I'll tell you this right up front, that the CDC posting a level 3 warning might be their response to having their extension of the no-sail order blocked by the White House. So that, to me, says there's politics involved in this that shouldn't be. The CDC needs to do their job. The politics needs to stay out of it. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to like me saying that either, because you think the CDC is absolutely against cruising. I have problems with the CDC order because I don't think they're taking into effect what's going on in Europe with MSC and Costa, and that they have proven that it's successful. However, I do understand their added concern over the situation we're in this country and in countries in Europe with the spike of cases, new cases. I mean, we're at record levels now. That doesn't mean that things getting better, folks. That means it's getting worse. Is it safe to go cruising right now? I don't know. Yes, I believe that the cruise ships have their act together and are doing it right and have the procedures in place to do it right. I don't know. I've got really mixed emotions on this one. And part of it's because, from personal reasons, because I know I can't go on a cruise ship right now, even though I have faith in the cruise companies. I don't have faith in the idiots in Florida and the idiots in South Carolina and Texas that don't have mask mandates and are letting this thing just rampantly go. And an administration that keeps having these massive meetings with no social distancing and no masks, and it's got to be spreading the thing 100 times over, and they just don't give a damn because they're politicians and they're interested in one thing and one thing alone, and that's getting reelected again in a week. They don't care about the health of this country. They don't care about the health of the cruise industry, and maybe some people need to understand that. Quit listening to politicians and listening to the health people, even if you don't like what they're saying. And I don't. I want, especially you guys that have stuff booked in January and are hoping to go. Oh my God, I want you to go so bad. I know I couldn't in January in clear conscience go on a ship right now, but not because of the cruise ships. It's because of all the other garbage. So, I don't know. So just to add fuel to the fire, according to a paper published by analysts Paul Goldberg and Charles Yu, the Macquarie Financial Services reported by Barron's that it's unlikely that cruising will resume next month. The company, which has significant financial standing in the maritime industry, bases its conclusion on the fluid political situation in the United States, fluid, and increasing levels of COVID infection in the United States and Europe. The report says the cruises will most likely only resume in March, despite what insiders in the industry are projecting. This is against the positive outlook by CEOs of Carnival and Royal Caribbean and what they've been saying lately. So, what's going to happen Saturday? I'm afraid we're not going to get good news. I'm afraid that they're going to move the date. How far they move it, maybe they just go 30 days again. But don't be surprised if they throw a date out there of, March 1st. So I don't know. It's depressing. It really is. I want cruising. I want things to get back to normal so bad. And it's not going to happen anytime soon, folks. It's not going to happen until we get a policy in this country that works. We get vaccinations and that they're widely used. That's the only way we're going to truly get everything back to normal, back to anything near normal. So, not the best news this morning, folks. All right, here's a kind of an interesting little clinker to things. Empty cruise ships in the middle of the ocean are now tourist destinations. 5 times bigger than the Titanic and with onboard giraffe sculpture that is the size of 3 Mini Coopers, Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Sea is now anchored off the coast of England, empty. Moored in Poole Bay in the English Channel, the Allure is haunting and quiet. Now, I didn't write this, folks. I'm reading it. Devoid of the frolic and fun that usually takes place on a cruise ship of this caliber. Well, yeah, of course. That's why we all cruise, because of frolic and fun and hot tubs and booze and food and other things. But interestingly, people are still flocking to the cruise ships. I think this is so cool. Enterprising Englishman Paul Durham, a former captain of the similarly ghostly P&O Aurora, now owns a ferry called the Josephine. One day he decided to venture out and take a look at the ship he used to helm and came up with the idea to offer tours around the dormant liners. In July, he posted the idea on Facebook and promptly sold out the first 2 cruises in a matter of hours. A steady supply of ghost ship cruise customers have now sailed the channel, with Durham pocketing $25 a person, visiting the ships as closely as you can without boarding them. And I think that's just cool as heck. Enterprising man, and God love him. I'm glad he's able to. He takes people out and sail around the outside of the boat and say, "Hey, here's what a cruise ship looks like from the water." But anyway, it's working. One other thing this morning, I point this out just so you guys will know it. I don't get any idea that I'm trying to promote this. It's myself, because it's, I'm sure, I haven't seen any prices on this, but I imagine it's expensive. Atlas Ocean Voyages, a new all-inclusive cruise line that will begin sailing next year, has announced that they will be offering a complimentary pre-cruise tour on all new bookings on their first cruise ship's inaugural season voyages. The complimentary 1 to 4 night immersive land tour bring guests on all-inclusive, luxurious journeys to authentic local cultures, must-see landmarks, breathtaking landscapes, and inland historic sites. And we're talking about departures around the Holy Land, the Black and Mediterranean Sea, and South America, and all kinds of departure ports and ports of call. I think for those of you that financially can go on, the boutique type cruises, it can spend a little more than the average cruise personer that's looking for bargains. You might want to look into this. I would love to be able to go on one of these just to see what it's like. This looks awesome. Atlas Ocean Voyages, they hope to kick off sometime in 2021. I don't believe they have a date yet. Summer 2021. 7 to 24 night itineraries. So anyway, all right, let's go see what we got in the way of chat today. Haven't been over there since I posted the link. And by the way, folks, when you see it up there posted 3 times, that's because we broadcast live on 3 different venues. I broadcast on YouTube, my YouTube channel. I broadcast on Facebook, my Facebook page. I also broadcast on Chillie Cruises Facebook page. So when you posted the link, then it goes to all 3 pages and it gets posted 3 times in our chat room. That's not me trying to jam it down your throat. That just comes because we're broadcasting live 3 different places. All right. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you. Sonny is with us down in Mississippi. Just be safe, Sonny, down here the next couple of days. Gretchen's with us from Mountain, Ohio. Tom Henry's here from Richmond, Virginia. Good to see you, Tom. Going to be a little damp for a couple of days. Tom Henry says, ouch. Jason's here. Hey, Jason up in Pittsburgh. Good to see you. Well, that's a ripoff. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I had no idea. I had no idea that they took that kind of. I mean, I knew they took a fee, a percentage, but my goodness. And then what was that? John was telling me, we were talking about it the other day, and he was telling me that if you make a donation to, somebody big, it wasn't Red Cross. I don't remember. One of the big donations, like they get to actually go where you want the money to go 15 cents on the dollar goes to where it's supposed to go. 85 cents goes to administration. That's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I agree. It's a total ripoff. Complete and total ripoff. Save as PayPal. I've got, okay, now here we go. Let's see. Okay, we we had some money from Nikki Singleton. So a $5 donation. I do appreciate that. So now I see how it works. I came through as an email. So what I'm going to have to do is go check my email account. Roger Holcomb sent $5. Oh, Roger Holcomb. That's Mr. Nicky. That's okay. So they both sent $5. Thank you. Thank you, Roger and Nikki. Okay. Now I see how this works, folks. So what I have to do, I have to make myself now go check my email when I'm checking on chats. Okay. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate that. And now I see how it works. And I do know that I get like 96% of the money when it goes to PayPal. Yeah, PayPal takes a percentage, but it's something minor. It's just like my credit card account that I used when I sold funnel cakes. Yeah, they get a percentage of that too. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with it 46%. What I don't even know what the math worked out to be. Okay, so thank you guys. That now I know how it works and what I need to do so that I can come on back on the air, and thank everybody that does that. Okay. You need an alert box from OBS Studio to recognize the donation. I've been looking at OBS. Jason, I have OBS, but I've not used it. And I need to, because the Animoto that I have used for years to make videos, just upgraded their system, even though I had the most expensive package. They upgraded the system, and the new system doesn't have voiceovers, which that to me is the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah, I could make videos and have music in the background, but I can't talk. So obviously I've got to go to a different venue for making videos. OBS is one of them. I found OBS to be a little confusing because I just never used it enough to catch on to it. But yeah, if I can get a button that will recognize the donation, and that then YouTube will allow. That's the other thing. YouTube's liable to block it. But we'll see. And OBS is one of the things I'm looking at. All right, Emily's with us up there in New York. Jason says, go to Streamlabs. Okay. All right. I will do some, I got some work to do when I get done with this week out at the horse farm. Horse farm's doing fine, folks. It's okay with the dogs, except they're not sleeping like I should, because it's not comfortable. My knee is doing really well. My back sucks. So, but I got a couple more days. I'm actually getting a break today. Amanda's going to do my midday, so I don't have to haul ass right as soon as I get off the air to go let the dogs out. Amanda's going to do my midday for me. That's my niece. I'm going to do my midday for me because I've also this afternoon, a little later, but this afternoon, I go to the lung doctor and get the results of the lung scan I did here several weeks ago, which I'm not worried at all about, because if there was anything major, they would have called screaming and said, "Oh, you got to get in here sooner," because they've done that before too, just to scare the crap out of you. So it's just a simple reporting. I'm going to go in there and they're going to say, yeah, they're still there and they haven't grown any, or they haven't grown much. And we're going to wait 6 more months and do another scan and not worry about it. Is exactly what they're going to tell me. And then I'm going to give them hell about several things. One of which is that I can't breathe, which is, I quit smoking 5 years ago now. And yeah, folks, I abused the body terribly. I was a 5-pack-a-dayer for 56 years. Now, yeah, I didn't smoke 5 packs a day all 56 years, but I probably smoked 5 packs a day for 40 of the 56 years. So I abused my lungs terribly. Supposedly, when you quit smoking, your lungs are supposed to come back. Yeah, mine haven't. So I still have, I walk. If my hips and knee allow me to walk 30 yards, I'm huffing and puffing like crazy. And sometimes less. I walk up a flight of stairs, I huff and puff like crazy. So I want to talk to them about, if we can do anything about that. I don't know if we can or not. So anyway, that's going to be on the agenda for today. Let's see. Sonny says Chillie Cruise Loggers group cruise organized for January 29, 2023. If you, Pete, John, interested, or anyone else. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. NCL breakaway out of New Orleans. I love to sail out of New Orleans. I love going to New Orleans. Can book through EECC Travels, Lolita Loca. Oh yeah, I saw that a whole bunch of those guys are putting together a big group cruise. Yeah, that's interesting. Any cruise vloggers are invited, and anyone that wants to join the group cruise. Cool. Pero DJ will also be going. Imagine other cruise vloggers will join in. Yeah, that might be fun to be around some of those guys that, I mean, most of them don't know me from Adam, but yeah, I could see doing something like that. All 4 vloggers that are organizing it are travel agencies, or for travel agents. Well, so they make some money doing it. God bless them. I mean, I used to do some group cruises I didn't do it for my health. Yeah, I wanted to go on a cruise, but I did it to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. Bruce and Jim Walker can share a room. Yeah. Nikki says, is hurricane season over? Actually, Nikki, not till Saturday. I think it's October 30th. Is November 1st? Is that a season? I don't know. It's close. It might even go into November a little bit. But hopefully this is going to end it. Oh, my goodness. At least there's nothing out there right now. So it would be nice if this is the last one. And this one, this is going to be bad, but it's not going to be a killer. It's just going to slide through and fly. We're going to get a lot of rain from it. You get some storm surge from it. There's some wind, but it's not going to be a disaster, especially that it's moving a little east. So New Orleans not going to get the worst of it. That's one good thing. Sonny says, believe me, I'll never go through anyone other than a certified read travel agent. Did otherwise once, and no, never again. I have used both. Sonny, I have used travel agents. I've also I've done fine with going direct, and for years I used Vacations to Go, and very successful. I never had any problems with Vacations to Go until my guy retired. And once my guy retired, it seemed like I was getting kicked around from, one person to another. And then we got into the pandemic and they, made some major changes. But I've also done straight with travel agents, and I've also booked straight with cruise lines, and I've had, no problems with any of the above. Of course, I go back in the day where you didn't have to be a travel agent to book stuff. So, I could actually do group cruises way back in the day and get one free cabin with 8 cabins booked or something like that. And I get a good price, not an overprice price like they do for groups now, but actually a discounted price, and could mark it up a little bit. So not only did I get the free cabin portion of it, but I was making a little bit on each fare I sold. I made a decent amount of money doing group cruises for years until they changed that all. Amy says, I'm booking the vlogger's cruise through Sharon at Sea. I've been following her for a couple of years now, and she's a travel agent. Tony from Lolita Loca said the CDC non-essential travel warning is exactly the same as the one they put out in March, with the exception of the date release. Yeah, I mean, that's true too. It's just the timing of it is kind of curious. We'll just have to see what they're going to do. I think they're going to shut it down. I really do. At least for another 30 days. That would be a win, folks, if they come through and said, we're just extending it for 30 days. We're extending it till December 1st. That would be a victory if that's what they say between now and Saturday. Super spreaders. Yeah, we got a share of our share of those from the administration. Yep. Counties in New York that have cases have gone up. They're slowly working on lowering the number. Well, New York's, whether you like the politics of Cuomo or not, he's done a good job after. I mean, he had some problems early when it got so bad, and they had problems in the nursing homes, and that was all, but once they really started getting their act together, they did a masterful job, I thought. Gretchen says, I think they're right. I hate to admit it, but March sounds about right. That's what I'm afraid of too, Gretchen. And I know some of our friends here don't want to hear that, but I just don't see it. Sonny says cases have to come way down. Amy says if they push the date back to March, they'll push it back to summer before they can push back again. Well, I mean, that's the possibility too, Amy, is that, they just keep going and going until we really start getting the numbers down. If we ever could start getting the numbers down, then they wouldn't have anything to hang their hat on. But to do that, it's gonna take more effort than is being done right now at reducing the spread of this virus. And as long as we're making fun of people wearing masks, and as long as we're just not doing any of the guidelines from the people that know what they're doing, it's just going to keep spreading. Tom Henry says, I'm tired of the CDC bringing up the old news from February and March. Have they considered the healthy sale recommendations? That Tom, I agree with you. They have not done that, at least that they're saying. They have not done that, and they have not considered what's been going on in Europe with the MSC and with Costa, because the protocols are very similar from what was recommended that they do and the way they want to do it here. The biggest bugaboo, Tom, is that the numbers just aren't supporting it doing anything in this country. You want to blame the CDC for that? Okay, I'm not so sure that the CDC is the one to blame. The CDC is the one that's looking at the numbers and saying it's not safe. Yeah, they need to consider the other parts of it, but still, you got the bottom line of how many cases are out there and how easy it's going to be to have a disaster again on a cruise ship. Or a disaster. What happens if you got 1,000 people getting on a cruise ship and 500 of them test positive? I mean, yeah, you can turn them away. You're not going to let them on a cruise ship. But then you're going to have a big mob of people at the port that are all testing positive. If it's a lot safer to get there, and then they're not going to have near as many positive tests. I don't know. It's just, I'm not sure there is a good answer to this one, folks. And I clearly, I don't want to come out harshly enough that I'll really piss people off, because I can see 6 sides to this coin. But I have to fall back to what I'm doing for me, and that is I would not go right now. And so therefore I can't overly promote you, my viewers, doing the same, because I want you to be safe too, as much as I want, Jason and Bonnie and you guys that are booked in January and Tom on your cruises coming up. I want you guys to go because I want to, I want to talk to you when you're on the boats. But I want y'all to all be safe and all of us to be safe when we get on a ship again. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a more delay. I'm just not sure how much it's going to be, but I'm thinking they could go for March. I really am. Yeah, at least 30 days. They're going to definitely do that. But I'm thinking we're going to see a chunk. The CDC cannot bankrupt the cruise industry. Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know they can't. But still, their job is to protect the health and welfare of the people, not the industry. And yeah, why are they talking about cruise ships and not talking about airplanes? Why are they not talking about parks, theme parks? I can't disagree with that. That's why I say I see both sides of this equation. But the bottom line is, our numbers are the point where one of the logical things that probably needs to be talked about is shutting down again. And God knows none of us want that to happen. I don't know. I'm not sure blaming the CDC is necessarily the right thing to do here. But yeah, I have some issues with Redfield. Not necessarily with the scientists that work for the CDC. I have some issues with him because I think he's too political. But at the same time with Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci, Sanjay Gupta, several other epidemiologists, I believe them 100%. And none of them would say it's safe to go sailing right now. None of them. Fauci said maybe December for a vaccine, then approximately 6 months for distribution logistics. Yeah. And that's if everything goes right. And then you got to have 60, 70% of the people be willing to take the vaccine once you get it out. And you're going to have the same 30% of the population that refuse to wear masks going to say, oh, I'm not taking that damn vaccine. That's going to go against my rights. So then how effective is a vaccine going to be? Yeah, those of us that want to get on a cruise ship, we want to take a vaccine. We want it to be safe for all of us. I don't know. I don't know that there is a good answer to this one, folks. Tom Henry says defund the CDC. Yeah, if you don't like what's going on in the world, defund them. There's Conchita. How you doing, Conchita? Good to see you this morning. I agree. 3 ships are docked in the port of Miami. I'd love to tour the ship. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Somebody down there in Miami needs to do the same thing. Get a little boat, go out and sail out to the port of Miami and go alongside the ship. Let you take pictures. Obviously you can't get off and get on board, but you could get, that would be a nice outing for a day. Tom Henry, you go down to Florida all the time. There's a project. Get a boat and start selling tickets and giving tours of ships, around ships. Yeah, they're talking about dressing up for the cocktail party. I said that I might wear a negligee that I wore when I was in a beauty contest one time. A black negligee, female's negligee, by the way. I might do that. I'm kidding, folks. No, I did that once. I actually did it on a cruise ship. All right, let's see what we got down here. Which Gretchen says, I think we have a big pug head here somewhere, but I don't think I could operate Zoom with it on. Oh yeah, for the costume. Come on as a pug. That would be cool. Gretchen's dog would go crazy. Yeah. Jason says he does it on YouTube. It works. The button. Okay. Good. Then I need to explore how to do that. Of course, you know, me and my technical skills are a little shaky. Big congratulations on quitting smoking. Thank you, Sonny. Yeah, once I did, I was 56 years worth of smoking. So, and I have no desire whatsoever to smoke. None. Zero. And yeah, I walk by somebody that's a smoker, and but yeah, that was the one thing. And I was working on a video when I lost doing all my video stuff on the Carnival Sunrise. I love the Carnival Sunrise, except that one of the main things that Carnival does, and they've always done, is they try to funnel you through the casino. Well, I got no problem with that. They want you to walk through there and gamble. I understand that. But on the Sunrise, above all, it was a very heavy smoking crowd, and you could smoke in the casino. So no matter what, you had to walk through there. You had to walk through smoke, and that was yeah. I mean, you had to go through 10 miles around Robin Hood's barn, not to go through the casino with all the smoking. That was the only thing about the Carnival Sunrise. Other than that, I loved the ship, loved the staff, loved the food, loved all the things I've always loved about Carnival. It was great on the Sunrise. The one thing was extraordinarily heavy smoking and that might have just been that group on the boat that week. But anyway, Jason says you probably need a pulmonary function evaluation. Yeah, well, that's actually what they've been doing every 6 months, but they are looking at other things instead of what actually I need to be able to breathe. And I don't know if they're related or not. We're going to talk about it today. Hurricane season lasts until the last storm. Yeah, Tom. That's correct. It lasts until the last storm. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. That's going to wrap me up today. I'm going to go to the lung doctor this afternoon and see if they want me to cough out a lung or whatever. So there's, good heavens, there's still a ton of comments here. One day, Bruce said the travel agents are poaching people. The next day, he says you need a travel agent, Tom Henry. Yeah. That was one of those confusing things about Bruce. And Jason says, Chillie, you can't piss anyone off. You're way too nice. Yeah. Tom Henry says, I pissed him off supporting CDC. Yes, I understand. I rant. I know I ruffle feathers at times. Some people like hearing my rant too. So anyway, I'm sure there's especially politicians. Yeah. And I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. This is the Republican side. This is the Democrat side. Both of them. They're lying. All politicians. So, Jason, I quit smoking 12 years ago when I was 27. Best decision I ever made. Absolutely. Because, see, I didn't quit smoking until I was 60. Oh, I was 65. 66. So, yeah. It's been a long time. Bonnie's here. Bonnie says, I love to pick with you and the big dog sleeping on your chest. Yeah, a little rascal. That's not a little rascal. He's a pretty good sized dog. He's a good sized French bulldog. And then the big dog is the black shepherd. So last night I went in to get on the bed. When I very rarely, when I'm at the horse farm, I usually don't sleep on the bed. I'm old fashioned old poop. I'm just not comfortable getting in somebody else's bed. And although she's told me use the bed because it's a good bed and it's comfortable, and on occasions I have done that. Most of the time, I'm more likely to be on the couch, laid out with a blanket, or in the recliner laid back with a blanket. And because that's what I do here too. I mean, I don't get on the couch in my room. I've got a bed, but my recliner over there where I watch TV and stuff. So that's generally where I sleep. Well, one of the dogs gets depressed, the little one, Trudy. If you leave her alone too long, she's old, and she gets depressed if you don't treat her like a queen. So last night I decided, well, I'm going to go get in bed with Trudy because Trudy always sleeps in the bed. She even has steps to get up onto the bed because it's a pretty high bed. So I don't know, it's probably 10 o'clock or so. I took my Diet Coke and I took there's a TV in there and I got the changer, the clicker. And I went and crawled in bed next to Trudy. And in 5 minutes, here comes Dooley, the other French bulldog, the bigger French bulldog is up on the bed. Here comes the damn cat, the cat up there. And here's Lucy, the big humongous black shepherd. Say, wait a minute, I want in on this party too. And up comes Lucy. So there I am, my big fat ass in bed with the 3 dogs and a cat. And I said, what the hell? I can't sleep like this. So about 45 minutes later, I'm back up and back in the living room on the couch. So, but yeah, that's I'm having fun out there. I love the animals. They're great. But it's just I'll be glad when the week's over and I can get back home too. Let's see. Bonnie says, Tom, I think CDC hands are tied mandating things on land. They've tried and had their wrist slapped because someone wants to open the economy. Yeah, that's just. I'm having more and more problems on the whole political kind of thing. The politicians need to let the scientists do their thing, no matter what we think about it. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll know something before this weekend. We'll see. Here, Amy popped in with Dr. Fauci, was also one of those people at the very beginning of this that told us we didn't need to wear masks, and for 3 months the public was not wearing masks. Yeah, that's just one of those things that we've learned. I mean, obviously, they have all learned a lot about this, the whole coronavirus thing that we didn't know about. It was a whole new ball game compared to the other viruses that they've had. And yeah, they did start off with that. Fauci's the first one to tell you that he was wrong, that he's learned since then that that's the one tool that we have that will help with the transmission of this particular disease until we get the vaccine and can go on with things. So, he did. That was, at least he's one that says he was wrong about something, as opposed to trying to brush it under the bed. I think that's probably why I appreciate him so much, is because he is way more honest than other people. And I won't mention any names because I don't want to, because we have folks that watch us on this channel that support both sides of this election, folks. So I'm never going to try never to be that political to try to influence you one way or the other. However, when I think something's wrong, I will fuss. I'll fuss if Biden should win, and that to me is still a major question mark. But if Biden should win, and he does something that I think's wrong, I'm going to be up his butt just like I'm up Trump's butt over a couple of things. I was back from when Trump did the thing on Cuba. I was totally opposed to it. That's what I do. If I think something's wrong, I'm going to say it. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or independent or green, white, brown, purple, pink, or what color or nationality. Doesn't matter. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate, again, Nikki and Roger, thank you for the donations. Thank you. So I know how I can handle it now. Jason, for your advice and I'll go back and get the information out of the chat to go back and figure out how to maybe do that. See how to do it. I have no idea how. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. So that's going to wrap me up until Thursday. I'll be back Thursday morning. If you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. As always, hit that little subscribe button down in the lower right-hand corner. The bell notification tells you when we go live or when we post a new video. And as always, folks, stay safe, especially if you're in the path of this hurricane. Stay safe down there, especially some of you guys in Mississippi and anyone else in the path of it. And as always, wear your mask, socially distance, sanitize and wash your hands, and do all the things you need to do to stay healthy. And one day soon, hopefully, we'll all be on a cruise ship again. I'll see you guys next time. Later, y'all.
Thank you for watching today's travel and cruise industry news. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.